Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Minnie here. I hope you're doing well. I'm feeling so festive today. I love this time of year. I'm really looking forward to the holiday season and I hope you are as well. So today I'm going to do a little bit of a hybrid video. I'm going to do a this, not that epic fragrance battle. They are my favorite videos, but also incorporate a fragrance haul into it. So I love Santal Complet by Fragrance du Bois. It is a gorgeous fragrance and I know a lot of other people love it as well. The problem with the fragrance is it comes at a very high luxury price point, and the performance of the fragrance is tragic in my opinion. I have been on a mission lately to find other fragrances that stack up to Santal Complet by Fragrance du Bois, and I have a couple here that I'd like to share with you. If that interests you, please stay tuned and I will jump right in. So I'm going to start off by talking about Santal Complet. This is an exquisite fragrance, one that I loved from the moment that I first smelled it. It is a creamy sandalwood fragrance that I find to be exceptionally beautiful. This is one that I ordered quite some time ago from Lucky Scent. I ordered a 1 milliliter sample, which I'm not crazy about because it's hard to spray it on your skin. You can kind of dab it and rub it on your skin, but it's not easy to do to really get an idea of what the scent profile is like and how the scent performs. That being said, Lucky Scent was generous enough to send me another sample with another order that I made. So I feel like Santal Complet has been taunting me just a little bit over time. It's one that I love, but I just haven't wanted to pull the trigger on because of the price point. I find this to be addictive. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I brought in some other Fragrance du Bois samples into my collection. I played with them a little bit. I like them. I want to explore them more. But this is the one that has captured my heart the most so far. I do find this to be a unisex fragrance. I think anybody can wear it, but if you do prefer ultra feminine fragrances, this one may not be for you. It's a magical scent, and I do understand what people are talking about when they reference this one as a masterpiece. It's creamy, the sandalwood feels luxurious in this one. It is very high quality, and it's a slight bit, just the tiniest bit spicy, probably because of that black pepper, but it is subtle. This is a fragrance that just gives me joy. It's one of those perfumes that I sincerely enjoy smelling throughout the day on my skin. I can't really speak to crowd pleasability because I haven't really received any feedback from other people who have smelled this on me, but what I can say is that generally speaking, when you go to Fragrantica, when you go to Parfumo, you read reviews, people really seem to enjoy this fragrance. So moving on to my frustration about this fragrance, and I'm going to cut right to the chase, I find the performance to be very frustrating on this one. This will last on my skin 2, maybe 3 hours. After that point, I find it quite hard to pick up on my skin. I will make a disclaimer, I only have the 1 milliliter here, so it is hard to spray all over and truly understand if you were to spray it on your clothing, all over your skin, how it would perform. But I do spray it right here on my hand, and after probably 2 hours, it becomes harder to pick up. Now I will compare that against another fragrance that is prominent on my skin at this point. This is a luxury scent at luxury prices, and while I feel like they probably use very high quality ingredients in here, I just find that they don't last. When I think about somebody who's getting new into fragrance, they find out that they really like creamy sandalwood fragrances, I think it can be a little bit of a sticker shock when you look at a fragrance like this, and definitely a bit of a deterrent for somebody who really wants to explore fragrances but doesn't want to pay that price point. The performance combined with the price on this one has really left me craving other alternatives along these lines, and I think I have some really good options that I'm excited to share. The first alternative to Santal Complet that I'll talk about today is Jazz Club by Replica. Now this is a mini that I purchased back in early 2020. I tried it on my skin, I liked it, I thought it was a gorgeous scent, but I did find it to be a little bit masculine for my tastes. I decided to go back and revisit Jazz Club recently when I saw a review on Fragrantica that said that Jazz Club smells exactly like Santal Complet by Fragrance du Bois. I went up and played with this a little bit more, put it on my skin, and I absolutely was blown away by how much I loved it. What I did find though is that I still consider it to be a little bit too masculine on my skin. What's interesting about this one is it is marketed towards men, at least according to Fragrantica, which I found interesting because I had the impression that Replica marketed all of their fragrances as unisex. So never fear, I ended up buying a full bottle of this one. I asked my husband to try it on his skin. I absolutely loved it on him. I think this one smells incredible on a man. Don't let that deter you if you are a woman though. I have seen plenty of reviews by women who love this fragrance on their skin. So I definitely recommend trying this, seeing if you like it on your skin, and if not, possibly buying it for a significant other, a friend, a family member, whatever, so you can still smell the scent profile. One thing that I find really interesting about Jazz Club, and I guess this is the case with a lot of other fragrances out there, is that there are really mixed reviews on this one. It seems like the vast majority of people really enjoy this one, but there are quite a few people who don't enjoy it because of that boozy presence. Some people don't like the tobacco accord that's in here. Some people say that it smells like an ashtray. I don't get that at all. I find this to be a generally classy, gorgeous fragrance. To me, it's stunning, it's sweet, it's spicy, it's a boozy tobacco fragrance that I think a lot of people would really enjoy. The name for this one makes complete sense. I envision kind of a sultry, seductive jazz club, maybe back in the Prohibition era. A lot of people having fun, dancing, the smell of booziness mixed with cologne. I just get that vibe when I smell this perfume. So in reference to the comparisons of Jazz Club to Santal Complet, what I would say is when you initially spray them side by side, they smell like very different fragrances to me. This one has a very powerful, almost masculine presence. It has a very boozy quality, a very tobacco heavy quality. I think it could be a little bit overpowering and off-putting to some people. But once it dries down on the skin, this does become much, much more smooth and a very alluring fragrance. What's interesting about this one is it doesn't really share a lot of notes with Santal Complet. In this one is pink pepper, neroli, lemon. In the mid you have rum, java, vetiver oil, clary sage. And in the base you have tobacco leaf, vanilla bean, and styrax. So the only notes they really share are that lemon. This one has the vanilla bean, and I believe Santal Complet has vanilla. So there are some similarities, but I find the note structure to be quite different between the two. It's so unusual to me with those different note structures how they do dry down quite similar to one another. Now, while I do find them to be similar upon the dry down, there are definitely some differences. When I think about Santal Complet and the dry down you get from that one, it's a little bit more of that luxury sandalwood coconut profile. It is stunning. Again, it's unisex. This one has a little bit more of a masculine tone to me, but again, ladies, do not let that deter you. Definitely recommend trying this on your skin. And it has more of that boozy, spicy tobacco feel that I mentioned earlier. I do think some people will like this, but not Santal Complet, and vice versa. I think they smell similar, but different. I think depending on what you're looking for, you may go for one of these and not the other, but ultimately they do have some similarities. And I do think for somebody who's looking for a little bit more of a masculine alternative to Santal Complet, which I find to be unisex, I do think Jazz Club is an excellent option. One last thing I'll mention on Jazz Club is that the performance on this one isn't great either. It's okay. So my husband will spray this in the morning and I can still smell it on him by the end of the day. So about after 8-9 hours of wear, it is still there, but it's very subtle. It becomes very much a skin scent at that point. So something to think about if you're interested in this fragrance. Again, this is Jazz Club by Replica. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the closest dupe that I've come across, the only dupe that I've come across for Santal Complet, and this is by Dapper Fragrances. This is their interpretation of Santal Complet. Now, I love clone houses. I do buy some fragrances from them if I really want to explore something before I buy the real thing. I generally purchase from Dua or from Be Layered or from Alexandria Fragrances. This is my first experience with Dapper Fragrances, and I wanted to mention that I purchased this with my own money. This is not sponsored or anything like that, and this is my own opinion. What I find to be amazing is that Dapper Fragrance's interpretation of Santal Complet is shockingly similar to the original fragrance. I do find that this has a little bit more of a noticeable lemon accord when you first spray it. That concerned me a little bit when I compared them side by side, put them on my skin at the same time. I did feel like the lemon was overpowering with this one, but don't let that concern you, because when it dries down, it becomes very beautiful and very close to the original fragrance. In the dry down, I actually feel like I may prefer the sandalwood and the Dapper Fragrances version. This is alluring, it's intoxicating. The sandalwood and vanilla are key players in this fragrance, just like they are in the original. I find the coconut is there, it's beautiful, but it's very much lingering there in the background of the perfume. To be honest with you, I almost feel like Dapper Fragrances did Santal Complet better than Fragrance du Bois does Santal Complet. And the reason I say that is because the performance on this fragrance, the scent profile is just more prominent, it's more noticeable, it's more present. I just find that this being a tiny fraction of the price of the original Santal Complet, this is a no-brainer for me. I'm really happy to have this in my collection, and I will definitely be wearing this one. One super quick call out about this one, when I press my nose super close to it, I do feel like I get a little bit of a synthetic feel to it, but I wouldn't worry about that too much. When I back up from it, I get the sillage. That synthetic vibe is not there. I don't know if it's in the oil they use or something along those lines, but you definitely do not pick that up from the sillage of this fragrance. The performance on this one is what I think you should expect from Santal Complet. At that luxury price point, I do think you should get strong performance, strong projection, strong longevity, and that's just not the case with Santal Complet by Fragrance du Bois. So the winner of this epic fragrance battle is probably pretty obvious by now. I really do think they've done an amazing job of duping, of cloning Santal Complet by Fragrance du Bois. This is the Dapper Fragrances interpretation. Love it. Highly recommend, if you like that scent profile, getting your nose on this one. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I truly appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video on Santal Complet alternatives, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. If you have any other recommendations, please let me know. I definitely want to get my nose on them. I hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend. I hope you enjoy getting ready for the holiday season. I hope you have a lot to be grateful and thankful for. And until next time, I'll see you soon.